Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Outlaw Nation Show. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined today for this special St. Patrick's Day celebration by my drinking buddy, my brother in life, and my fellow geek buddy, Shannon McClung. How are you, Shannon? How are things?
Toy.
Just
fine, John. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So we're here to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and I went out and went on a run, and Shannon's gonna love this. So I got some Guinness Extra Stout. I got some original Wexford beer here. I got some Nitro Irish Stout.
Ooh.
I got a little harp action, a little harp lager. And finally, some Murphy's imported Irish Stout. So there is a lot of, and I bought a supersized mug for it all. So I am ready to go, bar none, for the drinking.
And you're going to pour all of them into that mug at the same time.
And I'm going to be able to tell you which one is really the one that tastes the best. That's 1,000% what I'm going to do. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is exciting times.
How much money will it take for you to pour a little bit of each beer into that mug and try it all at once? Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy.
Let's get nuts. I don't know. I'm going to try it all out. I'm definitely in the mood to drink today. It's been a hell of a day already. Had to shoot some Schmodown scenes. Had to record our Geek Buddies episode, which will be out a little bit later today or tomorrow morning. And just all kinds of drama dealing with the day. I mean, dude, all the stuff I'm doing, it is just insane to handle it all and try to get it all going. How was your day, man? How are things on your end?
You know, I mean, I love daylight. Like, I love the fact that we get an extra hour of daylight.
Yeah.
But I'm a morning person, and this extra hour is just it's killing me. Like, I'm waking up at around 7:30. Yeah. And I feel like I've been hit with a mallet.
Wow.
So knowing that we were recording Geek Buddies at around noon, I'm like, all right, I'll get up around 7:30. I'll be fine. And I was just dragging ass beforehand. I was like, well, we're not going out for St. Patty's, unfortunately.
Right.
Things are opening back up, but it's just like, all right, St. Patty's, that's a little... I want to do it right. So, my girlfriend and I are just making dinner tonight. I walked down to our local cupcakery and got us 4 Irish-themed cupcakes. Are
they green?
Yes, one of them is green. It's a green velvet, which is just red velvet with green dye. It's a Guinness cupcake. It's called a Lucky Leprechaun, I think it's a vanilla cupcake with Lucky Charms on top of it.
Right.
And an Irish coffee cupcake.
Ooh, an Irish coffee cupcake. On top of
Irish coffee cupcake, John.
Top of the morning to tell you. Anyway, we're going to lay off the accents too much. We don't want to offend anybody here in the chat. But we're going to have a lot of fun here, having little drinks, talking about life and whatever. It's been the way. I mean, the last few weeks last week was great with Sean O'Connell coming on the Outlaw Nation channel. It was a lot of fun to have him be a part of things. But in the end, I mean, I just like, I don't know, I've just been kind of feeling like hanging out is the way to go. And so I'm trying to kind of like, bring people on that I want to hang out with and hear from them and see what they think. I'm trying to find your overlay here. I know Jake Yakoveta made me an overlay for Outlaw Nation with you one time, and I'm going to try to find it. So bringing everything over isn't easy once you start a new brand on the StreamYard. I don't know about what you guys think, but it's not the easiest thing in the world for sure. But yeah, trying to bring it all over, see if we can manage it. What does your girlfriend feel about the whole situation in terms of St. Patrick's Day? Does she celebrate it? Does she not celebrate it? Is it not her jam? What's her situation?
Well, she likes beer. So, I mean, I think she actually posted it on Facebook today, like 2 years ago. We had just started dating. We'd only been dating for a couple of months, I think. Wow. And she'd gone out to her local Irish pub in her neighborhood and invited me out. And I'm meeting some of her friends who I don't really know. Right. And that's the way to meet people when it's really loud and you don't really have to fake a whole lot of conversation. You can just say,
It's the perfect time. It's the perfect time.
No, she's an Irish pub fan. She likes those bars. She's not Irish herself. I'm not Irish, you know.
Okay.
Everyone thinks I am because my name's Shannon McClung, but I'm actually Scottish.
Oh no, I brought the wrong person onto here.
I know.
I apologize.
We're cut from a similar fair-skinned cloth.
That's brilliant. I love it. I love it. Oh, I think I might have found it. All right, let's put it up. Let's see if we've got it here, Shannon. Let's just switch it over so that you get proper credit. If people want to follow you, they can follow you. And let me bring it up here. Hey guys, look, I'm just having fun tonight. So if you're hanging out with me thinking I'm gonna give you the most professional show you've ever seen, I hate to break it to you. We're just here to have fun, and the drinking will commence. We got about 43 of you all watching us live. We appreciate it madly. We had to change it from late yesterday. I just wasn't feeling it yesterday, man. I was going through one of my depression days, and I just did not want to do the show. Maybe I should have done the show and opened it up to have like fun conversations. Well, if you can have a fun there we go. Boom! Fun conversations about depression. But I just wasn't in the mood yesterday. Today, I'm more in the mood. Got a good night of sleep. Watched Falcon and Winter Soldier this morning, episode 1. No spoilers, episode 1. And then kind of set this all up. Impromptu. So I love that people are even watching right now, that we even have 49 people watching us live. Aisha, hello. Go ahead, man.
Well, no, I was going to say like California, or at least LA. I don't know how it is in San Diego, but we're just now starting to open back up. I imagine a lot of people are, you know, getting a little stir crazy and want to head out. I certainly do. I mean, there's two, you know, formerly known Timmy Nolan's. It's now called Mrs. Robinson's, but that's a pub that, you know, the Outlaw and I used to frequent. And then there's another one called Foreman's that I've been to St. Patty's there, and it's, you know, it's a blast. I would love to have a nice St. Patty's Day celebration, but it seems like we can see that light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. And I would hate to roll the dice foolishly right now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's get to the drinking, ladies and gentlemen. Look, that'll loosen up our tongues and loosen up our points of view for sure. Shannon, where do I start? The Murphy's Stout, the Irish Stout here, the Harp Lager, the Nitro. I'm kind of tempted by the Nitro Irish Stout.
I start with the good stuff. Start with the Nitro.
All right, start with the Nitro.
Start with the dark stuff and make your way to the light stuff. If you don't make it, you're more of a dark beer fan. If you don't get to that Harp Lager, you know, it'll be fine. Oh man. Look at that.
Yes, sir. Holy crap. Oh, like this is barely half the glass.
Well, I mean, that's a gigantic mug you have there.
So you say. You should see my beep. Anyway. Oh no. Jason Earhart wanted to rub it into Sean's face. Says, "Hey guys, watching on my brand new PS5. It arrived today. Is it St. Patrick's Day or Christmas?" Congratulations, Jason. Congratulations. And for those of you who are Outlaw Nation patrons, Jason is one of them. For the $10 and above, I will be doing a Zoom hangout after our show ends. It's around 6 o'clock, depending what condition Shannon and I are in as we drink away. But yeah, come and join me for that as well. On camera Zoom. I'll send the link after I'm done with this show. So we come hang out. Shannon, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, son.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, John.
Now we drink.
I was going to keep going if you weren't.
Oh, really?
Stop.
All right, let's do it.
Are we? Oh my God, really? Here we go.
Damn it, I couldn't finish it. Oh, that's good stuff. Woo!
All right, if you're bailing out, I'm going to bail out.
I had to bail out on that one. I should have brought a napkin in here to wash it out a little bit in between the tastes. This is good. This is good. This is good stuff. I mean, it's a quick drink. It's not as heavy as maybe the Irish Stout might be at some point, but it's good to go. It's good to go for sure. Shannon, what's your relationship with the Emerald Isle? What's your relationship with Ireland, my friend?
Well, I mean, I've never been there. I've been to London, but that was on a business trip many years ago. Wow. I've always wanted to go to Ireland. I mean, I've seen photos and from films and just sort of the lush green rolling hills. It looks beautiful. Way back when I was the high school that I went to was a performing arts high school, and we got accepted to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And it would have been for summer. So our school was putting together a couple of shows, and everyone was so excited to go to Scotland. I know I'm changing the subject here, talking about Scotland. Everyone was so excited, and the shows that they were doing, I didn't want to do. I was just like, I don't like either of these shows. One of them was sort of like a dance show, which, you've seen me.
Yes.
I can cut a rug.
You can cut a rug.
But I'm by no means a dancer. And then the other show was the Spoon River Anthology. And reading that, I was just like, I want to see Scotland. But then I actually on the sly went to another local high school for summer school. I auditioned for they were doing West Side Story.
Oh, wow.
And they cast me as Riff. So I was like, Scotland or a big part. Like, I'd never gotten a big part at my high school. And so I passed on the Scotland trip. And the people that did go, like, they had an amazing time. Right. There is a bond there that I certainly did not have with everyone else, because I was going into my senior year. So I definitely missed that. But at the same time, as a performer, I think I made the right decision. But I've always wanted to go to Ireland. I've always wanted to go to Scotland. Right. I love film and television set in Ireland. I would love to see it one day, and to visit the Guinness plant as well. That seems like it'd be a dream come true.
Agreed. That would be a lot of fun. All right, I'm finishing this off. Yeah.
Are you really? Let's see. Can he do it? Can he do it, ladies and gentlemen? Can he do it? Is he? Oh my gosh. Have you ever gotten drunk on one of these?
Come close. I'm close. Certainly I've been tipsy. Super tipsy.
I feel like it could maybe happen tonight.
I think it's going to happen tonight.
You've only been going about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Where do I go here? Imported stout now next, or the Wexford Irish Ale, or the Harp?
Go dark.
The extra stout?
Yeah, do the Guinness.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. Here's my review on the Irish Nitro Stout. A very smooth beer. It goes down well. Hardly any taste, though. Really, it's kind of like flavored water. A very smooth, easy drink for sure. I don't even know if it's got smooth, cascading dry stout brewed with roasted Irish malts. But there is no alcohol content that I can see listed on this thing. But it's from the Fine Irish Brewery located in Colorado, Breckenridge Brewery. But yeah, so a good drink. But Shannon, where do you? Oh no, 4.8% alcohol.
Oh yeah, that's half of what you would normally do.
That's that's fantasy land for me. So here we go with the Guinness, the basic bitch of stouts, the Guinness Extra Stout. That is the basic bitch of stouts, because everyone drinks a Guinness. We got to know how to pour a Guinness. See, the problem is that's not how you pour a Guinness. All the head and shit right on top. You pour it slow. The great bartenders in Ireland or England or Scotland, I don't want to exclude your country, they know how to pour this beer. They don't pour it, like I just did, like an idiot. It's slow pour, so you enjoy yourself. That's the way.
Well, and you can also, because this is a Guinness as well. You can do the glass tip. Like, I know that's not the traditional way, but it does. It eases up on that sort of overflow of head that you get if you just kind of pour it straight. Like, I love to watch bartenders pour a Guinness at a bar, like off the tap. Like Guinness in a can, Guinness in a bottle. It's it's not exactly the same thing. Right. And from what I hear, Guinness in the U.S. is not the same thing as like being overseas.
Right. The Guinness overseas is even stronger than the Guinness here, because it costs more money to import the authentic Guinness shit than it does the regular. And from what I understand, the Guinness, from what I read, I could be wrong, the Guinness doesn't keep as well when it goes overseas. Like, it has to be kept in a certain way. Sure. And here's level 2 saying worst pour. This motherfucker, all he has is negative things to say about me. I don't know how this Haitian motherfucker messes around with me. I tell you, no, I'm just joking. Yeah. He's always giving me shit. He's always busting my balls. It's always possible.
This is one beer Rocha right now. It's only downhill from here.
Yeah, you asked me at AMA right now. Let's do it. AMA. Speaking of which, as you can see from the banner down below, they're rolling through down. See, he knows it. He laughed along. He knows what I'm saying. Right there underneath is the link if you want to send in your Streamlabs super chats. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd love to get some support for the Outlaw Nation show, support for the Outlaw Nation channel overall. Ask us anything. Shannon and I have got stories for days. I could tell you Shannon's wedding story. Let's get to $150, and I'll tell you what Shannon is actually like at weddings when he drinks, and the physical assaults that he performs on other men when he drinks at these things. So yeah.
We're good. Oh God, we're going straight to this.
Yeah, we're gonna tell the stories.
We're going straight to that one.
We're gonna tell us. Oh my God, look at that. That's fantastic. Look at that. That is a juicy fucking pour, ladies and gentlemen. That's a little too much head. I'd probably get fired if I was in cocktail. But yeah, that's the situation there.
What is the T-shirt you're rocking tonight, Johnny?
Well, this is from the Resistance Broadcast System people, John Huey, Lacey Gillerin, and I've been drinking, so I forget the other gentleman's name, but they've had me on their show a few times. And John, who I totally respect and admire, he's in the Schmodown now. He was very kind to say to me, "Hey man, tell me what shirt you want. I will send it to you. Rep it whenever it's on." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll put it on." This is a great shirt, very smooth, nice material, fits well. I put on some weight; it covers up a little bit of the weight I put on, so I like wearing it overall. So it's such a great shirt. It says, "Wherever he goes, I go," right? Which is the mantra of the Mandalorian with Baby Yoda. So there you go. I've heard Shannon goes to the capital of Thailand at weddings. Is that true? Who's Phil P? Is this a friend of yours?
Well, we talked about it briefly on that episode of the Top 10 I was on. We didn't really get into it, but you briefly brought it up.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get to 150 for the love of God, and you'll hear the story. Oh, we've got some Streamlabs coming in already. Holy shit! Wow. Christian Alante donated. Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. So because of Mando, I've gone back and watched a bunch of Kurosawa Leone films, including Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, and Fistful of Dollars. Rocha, what would you say differentiates classical versus spaghetti westerns? Ooh, this is a good question. Shannon, please chime in on this as well. I would say classical is the more like High Noon or any of the John Wayne movies. Those are more like America is here to solve the problem. That's what you get there, where the spaghetti westerns are more tongue-in-cheek, still, pushing the stakes out there, but it's more tongue-in-cheek. There's more humor that is situational, whereas classic Western is more about conversation, more about that kind of what cliches and tropes of the classical Westerns are all there. The hero coming in at the right time, overcoming the odds. You've got the villain there who may have had a relationship with the hero in the past. All that is part of the standard situation when it comes to classical Westerns. But spaghetti Westerns are more attempting to kind of undercut the cliche of Westerns without insulting them. So I don't know. What do you think, man? What's your thoughts?
I mean, see, it's interesting because I kind of would go the other way. I feel I feel like the spaghetti Westerns tend to be a little more over the top because of the fact that the Western genre had been established in the US at that point. And, people, they're called spaghetti Westerns because they shot, in overseas, they shot in Italy. And at that point, like they were looking for cheaper ways to do these movies. And so I think they were able to kind of riff on the tropes that had been established, but also they might not be classically considered as high of quality.
Look, we might have stumbled onto a brilliant new show on the Outlaw Nation channel, which is Shannon and I drinking and delivering you drunk movie reviews. I think this is the best way to do this situation. Yeah, exactly. Keep it down, Sean. Let's see here. We've got some other studios. Oh my God, Aisha. Thank you, Aisha. She says, "Cheers, Rocha and Shannon. I love you both very much. Thank you. Your Geek Buddies episodes keep me sane every week. Let's turn up tonight, people. start mixing those drinks and start sending in your support on Streamlabs and Super Chat. Thank you, Aisha. That's very, very kind of you. What an incredible donation. Because of Aisha's donation, Shannon, we are now $35 short of hearing the story. What a very kind donation from Aisha. So if you want to hear the story of Shannon McClung and what he does to people at weddings when he gets super drunk, we're $35 away from it. So that's for sure.
I will withhold on my response until the story will be told.
Fair enough. Fair enough. J-Dog sent in. He said, John Pattyboy Rocha. John Pattyboy Rocha. There it is. There he goes. John Pattyboy Rocha. Appreciate that. Nice black shamrocks. Respect. Let's see what else we got here from someone here. Oh, yeah. From Mormouth Hots. He says, about to crack open a Modern Times DIPA. What's a DIPA?
That's a double IPA.
Ooh, shit.
So it's the strength of an IPA, but more.
What's the alcohol content on a double IPA? What would you say?
I think it probably starts around 8.5.
Yeah.
And it can go up. It can go up to the 11 and 12.
Wow.
12 arena.
Okay.
I generally stay away from double IPAs because if I'm drinking to socialize, I want to be able to have more than one. And two double IPAs, and I'm wiped out.
Oh wow. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. Maria says, I totally read the line on my shirt backwards. Did I? All right. Where he goes, wherever I go, he goes. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, wherever I go, he goes. All right, fair enough. Let's see. Brian Brawl, thank you, Brian. Says, I got you, Aish. I don't do drinking, but I'm up for stories about people acting up. Oh, Brian, it's a very kind donation, but with YouTube taking 30%, we don't quite get there, unfortunately. But maybe someone else can send in some support here, and we'll get to that 150. Here we go.
Hold on, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check your math here. You said YouTube takes 30.
Why don't you shut up and just let me run the show? Rodney Pino donated. Rodney, thank you, Rodney. He said, "Are the Geek Buddies going to review, maybe rank the DC animated universe movies anytime soon? Happy Snyder Cut Eve." Yeah. Shannon, you watched all these animated films. What's your reaction to it? What's your feeling about those films now as you think about it?
I mean, it was a really, really, really great. I mean, it was a great story. I believe they did 16 films.
Wow.
And they could have done more. I mean, they really could have done more. They were using the designs as the universe started off. They were using the designs from the New 52. And by the time they kind of got pretty far down the road, the New 52 had kind of come and gone. So that's Mike Kalinowski and I were talking about this because I was just like, why did they end those movies? And he was like, it all had to do with the designs. He's like, they just wanted to finish up that universe and kind of get to their next section of stories.
Right.
They're great. They're really, really good. I mean, there are some that I like more than others. Yeah. There are times, especially if you're an animation person, you can tell that there were budgetary limits on what they could do. You could see sort of like some not as populated streets and some of the big crowd scenes. Some of the action, especially like Justice League War, which was the second one. Some of the action towards the end, the big finale, was a little repetitive. But overall, all the actors did such a great job. And if you are a fan of DC, I mean, just getting to go on this kind of epic journey with these characters. I mean, Damian Wayne is a huge standout in all of the movies. I don't know if we'll ever get to a live action Damian, like if they're going to go chronologically, that you got to get through Grayson, you got to get through Jason Todd, you got to get through Tim to get to Damian. But they're fantastic. I mean, if John, because John has so much free time, if John is able to get through all those movies, I would think we would absolutely do a review and rank of the universe.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad idea. I mean, I once the match happens on the 26th, I will have a lot more time to do stuff. That's for sure. So yeah, I would love to review them for sure. All right, let's see here. Christine said, top of the morning to you both from Sydney. The people that want to hear the wedding story. It's me. I am the people. Thank you, Christine. Happy to see Shannon back on for another Outlaw Nation show and excited for the Falcon and Winter Soldier Geek Buddies reviews. Love you both. Yeah, Shannon, this is going to be insane. We've asked Mike Kalinowski. I announced it on Twitter today. We've asked Mike Kalinowski to do both the Falcon and Winter Soldier reviews, which will be over the next 6 weeks. It's a 6-episode series, and the Zack Snyder Just League review for us, and we're going to do it live on Sunday night. What's the over-under that we finish out the series with Kalinowski still on the show?
Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
I think it's 100%.
Okay.
I mean,
all right. What about after the Justice League battle?
Well, the thing about our group of friends,
yes,
is there can be a lot of passionate disagreements.
Yes, sure.
And but ultimately, most of the time, we come out on the other side,
yes,
still being friends. I mean. Yeah. And I think that's probably true of most friendships is like, you can, like, as long as you're respectful of the other person's point of view, you don't have to agree with it. Periodically, Kalinowski and I, cause he's my neighbor. He lives down the street.
Yes, he does.
We'll go for a little late night stroll just to kill some time. And we'll start talking about Batman versus Superman. And
inevitably BVS will come up.
He is a true believer. Like he really thinks in 30 years that's going to be like Blade Runner. I don't, but at the same, I didn't like Blade Runner. So,
oh my God,
yeah, not my thing. I mean, I rewatched it to go see. Different strokes for different folks. True. I rewatched Blade Runner. It was the one without the Harrison Ford narration. I rewatched it to go see the sequel. Was it 2049?
Yeah, 2049. That's what it was called.
I wanted to like that movie with a passion, and I was just like, this universe just doesn't resonate with me. Yeah. And I don't necessarily say like, hey, this movie is terrible.
Right.
I'm like, I can look at it and be like, this is a gorgeously made movie. This was made with a lot of care, and the people that are making this movie, I imagine they're incredibly proud of their work. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to resonate with everybody. I mean, it's just like food. Like it's all subjective. Okay,
if you say so. I don't think films are subjective at all. I've never said that in my entire life. Let's see here. What we're moving on to next. Thank you, Christine, for your very kind donation. Alan Smithy, he says, here's a donation for the Bangkok talk. Shannon, spill those beans. I love it, Smithy. Oh, Sean, thank you very much. Sean donated very kindly, our producer here on the Outlaw Nation channel. You don't have to donate. It's very kind of you, Sean. He said, as long as you don't talk in the Caribbean accent, you're going to have a fun night tonight. What's wrong with the Caribbean accent? I do a pretty good Caribbean accent.
Oh,
don't you think?
You know what? I can't say I've ever heard your Caribbean accent,
really?
John. And I don't think tonight's the night.
I think it is. Cue up the Little Mermaid. No, that's not the right one. I said you go to Kissy Girl. Come on, that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good.
Great.
I think that's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Brendan Margos, greetings to you, lads. What are your favorite Irish or Irish-themed films? Yeah, let's talk about that, Shannon. I put that on the description of this video that we'll talk about our favorite Irish movies. I put 10 up on Instagram with some honorable mentions in the body of the post. When you think of Irish films, what are the ones that stand out to you?
Well, this is not a ringing endorsement, but the first Irish-centric film that I saw was Far and Away with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
That is not a good movie, son.
At the time, the funny thing about that is a buddy of mine, we would have been in middle school when it came out. And what we wanted to do, we wanted to go see Patriot Games. But Patriot Games, which, also deals, with the IRA. Yes. Coincidentally enough, we wanted to go see Patriot Games. Patriot Games was rated R. They were not going to let us in that movie. So we got his older brother to come with us to buy us tickets.
Wow.
And so we could get into Patriot Games. And then as he went up to buy the tickets, he said, 2 for Patriot Games. And the ticket taker or the box office clerk looked behind him and was like, "Who are the tickets for?"
Ooh,
and
called him out.
Oh yeah, he immediately pulled the ripcord and bailed out. So we're like, all right, 2 for Far and Away.
Wow.
And so we were trying to sneak into Patriot games. We got into the movie very late.
Yeah.
Into Far and Away. And we tried to sneak in and we got caught.
Wow.
And they're like, you can go see the movie that you bought the tickets for, or you can leave.
Right.
And so we went and watched Far and Away.
Oh my God.
That beautiful soundtrack.
Accent. Yeah, beautiful soundtrack, but that Tom Cruise accent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that was my first experience with an Irish movie. Since then,
yeah.
I mean, it's overly long. I did like Gangs of New York.
Oh my God.
But overly long. I'll fully admit that. Like that is a long ass movie. Let's see, what else did I mean, Waking Ned Devine is a really, sweet movie.
I agree.
Rob Roy, that's Ireland, yeah.
It's not a good movie. I think Rob Roy is Scottish, my man. I think you're thinking Michael Collins. Oh, I know it's
Rob. Damn it, you're right.
He has a tartan.
You're right.
What's in this? Anyway, yeah. Let me tell you about Irish movies. Let me tell you about the great ones. The Commitments, Chef's Kiss. The Commitments. We are the Blacks of Ireland. That's what they say in the movie because they're trying to relate to the soul, the R&B guys, James Brown, Otis Redding, what have you. Their Commitments are trying to bring back soul to Ireland. Pretty fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, Alan Parker directed that thing. We talked about it on the Geek Buddies. Rachel Cushing today tweeted out Circle of Friends.
Oh, the Chris O'Donnell movie?
Yeah, the Chris O'Donnell. Listen, obviously, Saffron Burrows is fantastic. Obviously, Minnie Driver with her accent's great. Chris O'Donnell, that's a struggling accent, ladies and gentlemen. No offense to Chris. He's a fucking great actor, good actor. But that accent of his is rough at times in Circle of Friends. But if you want to go authentic, and I'm talking green blood, deep in the bones, Irish authentic films, The Snapper is a fantastic Irish film. The Van is a great Irish film. Cavalry with Brendan Gleeson is a great Irish film.
Oh, Brendan Gleeson's great.
Right? The Crying Game is another good one as well. He's got one, The Guard. Sing Street. That's an Irish movie. If you haven't seen Sing Street, it's so good.
Isn't, oh my God, the one... Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell. What was that movie? In Bruges. In Bruges.
I don't know if I count that because it all takes place in Bruges.
But it's centered around 2 Irish guys.
It is about 2 Irish guys. And Ray Fiennes doing a great villain.
Oh,
that accent of his is fantastic. I love Ray Fiennes when he's a villain. He's the best when he gets to kind of spread his wings and play a villain. For sure.
What and the Guard, that's the Guard. He's the real sardonic guy, right?
That's him and Don Cheadle.
Yeah. I remember watching that one. I like that one.
Yeah, The Snapper. I was just looking it up, but forgot the title. Yeah, I told you, Smithy, I'm a Schmodown champion for a reason. Because I know movies, for God's sakes. Drive It Like You Stole It from String Sheet should have been nominated for. I agree, Christine. It should have been the song of the summer, Christine. That fucking song was excellent. Excellent. Drive It Like You Stole It. In fact, let's play it now. I don't want to get banned. I can't play the music. They'll take this thing down. Rob Roy Cocktail uses Scotch. See, there you go. That's why it's Scotch. That's
I'm inclined to keep mentioning Scotland. Sorry.
I know you are. Maria says The Quiet Man, the John Wayne, John Ford film. The Quiet Man, there certainly a good one for sure. Let's see. How about Disney Channel original movie, The Luck of the Irish?
Is it on Disney Plus? Should we do a watch along?
We should do a watch along right now. Drunk as hell on it. I'm down. Aisha says Leprechaun from the Hood is the only Irish film I acknowledge. I love it. Let's see here. We got more stuff that came in. Sorry, I'm going to read these. Oh wow, we really went past the number here. All right, we got to get to the story here, Shannon. Let me read a couple more Streamlabs and we'll get to the story. Genghis Khani says, I like that. Send a Genghis Khani. I dig it. I'm into the idea of a John/Shannon drunk history. Yes, enjoy the beers. I'll be joining shortly with some whiskey. Awesome. What will be your first and most anticipated film to watch when you go back to the movie theater? Ooh.
Well, I went back to the movie theater yesterday.
You did, you son of a bitch. What'd you go see?
I did a double feature, actually. I went and saw, yesterday was the first semi-normal day that I had in a while, and it was amazing. I first went and saw News of the World by myself. I really enjoyed it. I have
good film.
I have questions. Like I would need to read the book that it's based on because I loved everything about it. But then knowing that Tom Hanks's character, where he came from, I'm like, I'm struggling with this a little bit. So I feel like I would need to read the book to get sort of the full picture.
Okay.
And then the second movie, I met Mr. Vogel and Mr. Kalinowski. We went and saw Raya and the Last Dragon, and it was really, really good.
I told you, right? I told you guys, such an excellent movie. Such a great animation style. Such great story. Great
gorgeous animation. Yeah. Really, really gorgeous animation. Really just another really rich world that they created. It's like they had a lot to stuff in their running time. I hope we get to see more of it. But we'll see.
Yeah. I agree with you. I had a good time. I was going to watch, what do you call it? I was going to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League in the theaters, but they don't have it on IMAX anywhere around here. So I'll have to watch it tomorrow morning, depending on how I wake up. I'll have to watch it tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. For sure. Let's see. Brian Brawler donated again. Oh, Brian, thank you. He said, is this enough for you, Rocha? Yes, we crossed the line. Thank you, Brian. We'll tell the story in just a second. Justin Toner says, hi, John and Shannon. Looking forward to the Geek Buddies going over Snyder's Justice League and Falcon Winter Soldier. Are there any films you loved when you were younger, but then as you got older, you rewatched and didn't like it? Listening to more Cinephiles, love them. Thank you for being a new fan of the Cinephiles, Justin. Yeah, Shannon, are there any films when you were younger that you loved, but as you got older, you watched them like, ooh, this is not good?
Yeah, because as a kid, you're watching these movies, and I don't remember the first time I went into a movie and didn't like it because the movies were such an experience. I will say I loved Dolph Lundgren's Masters of the Universe.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you?
And watched it many years later. It was like, oh man, this is bad. And then I ended up working with that director at a theme park attraction. He came in to direct. It was a new show. Yeah. And so when I found out that he was the director of Masters of the Universe, I was equal parts in awe and equal parts like, he made a bad movie, man. But yeah, I mean, Masters of the Universe obviously up there. I would throw Monster Squad up there. Like you watch Monster Squad now, and it's like, knowing what Shane Black wanted to do, like the behind the scenes of it on the special edition, the DVD are great. Yeah. Because I guess Fred Decker had, went to Shane Black and was like, hey, write this script. And the whole opening sequence where Van Helsing and the party of 10 stormed the castle, that originally there was a Zeppelin and there's machine guns. I mean, things that were probably not in the Monster Squad's budget. I still find it very charming. Like, it's not something that I go back and be like, oh, this is terrible. But you definitely, again, see the limitations of what the movie could do budgetarily.
Yeah, I would say the Batman movies, like Batman Forever, I really enjoyed when I was younger, and now watching them now, I'm like, these do not hold up.
Really? You like Batman Forever?
I did. I loved it when I saw it in the theater because I thought Kilmer was great. It was at the height of my love of Kilmer. Nicole Kidman was at just beginning the height of her powers. You had Chris O'Donnell coming in, which was a nice element. So all of it really worked for me. And I was a big Jim Carrey fan, Tommy Lee Jones fan. All of that was happening at the same time. So I even bought the soundtrack. I enjoyed the movie so much. But I rewatched it maybe a year ago, and it was horrifically bad. And I don't even want to watch Batman and Robin. Like, I've never finished it still to this day. And I know someday I'll lose on a 5-pointer in the Schmodown, and I'll be like, you know what? I got no problem with that. I got no problem. I'm never going to finish that movie. I'm never going to finish that movie. So that's the situation there. So yeah, there are a number of films that I enjoyed as a kid that now you watch, you're like, yeah, they're a little tough to watch for sure. You know. Let's see here. Drunken Prayer. Oh, sorry. Krishna Alante says, hey, can we talk about Scorsese casting the most Italian actor out there, Robert De Niro, as the Irishman? Yeah, well, you know. What can you do? I don't think that's what it was all about.
Which do you think was a more egregious sin? Casting Robert De Niro as an Irish hitman, or the de-aging that they used on him?
I didn't have any problem with the de-aging.
Really?
Until they got to the stopping of the dude's face in the grocer or whatever it was.
The wide shot.
The wide shot. When you saw him struggling to even lift his leg, I was like, this is horrific. Why did this shot even make the movie? Just do a close-up of him going, that's all you need, and you get the point across. Do a body double of somebody stomping on the dude's face. Why you did the wide shot, I'll never understand. Or why you left it in the film, I'll never understand. What a colossal mistake that was. I didn't mind the de-aging when he was in World War II. I thought it kind of worked, actually. So I had no issues with that. But yeah.
I think knowing what he looked like as a younger man, and then seeing the de-aging, because the de-aging can do, miracles on the face, but the rest of it can't do. So knowing what he looked like in like Godfather 2, it's just like, oh, that's not the same guy.
It's not the same guy.
Yeah.
Shannon. All right, here we go. Let's tell the story. We got way over the time. We got way over the amount. So I appreciate you all madly for getting us to that amount. Let's tell the story. So a few years ago, ladies and gentlemen,
we're talking like 10.
A few is 10.
A few is 3.
Fine. A decade ago, ladies and gentlemen, my friend Shannon McClung here, who you now see as a happy-go-lucky, very calm person in life. At the time, there was a lot of internal stuff going on with Shannon McClung. And when he would drink, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, oh boy. We were at this wedding, and we were at a wedding of a friend of ours, and it was a beautiful wedding. We had a lot of fun. It was at Laguna Beach. Really great time. Everybody showed up and showed out wearing their nice clothes and all that. And then we went to a reception afterwards. Now, all of our friends are there, and we have, like, you guys know who John Rocha. I have like 75, 100 friends. We all have the friends. We're all part of that, so we can all claim the 75 to 100 friends. We're all hanging out there at the reception. Beautiful reception. Great place. I was sitting there. I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, Jamie Jean, who Shannon knew from working at the park and stuff. And I had went out to get a drink for both of us at the bar outside. So the bar was outside the reception area. So the ballroom reception area, and then outside in a little indoor hallway was where, the kind of you mill around and get your drinks. So I'm getting my drink for me and Jamie Jean. And one of our friends, Josh, walks up to me. He goes, do you know what your friend is doing? And I said, which friend are you talking about? We've got so many. He goes, your friend Shannon McClung. Do you know what he's doing? I'm like, no, what is he doing? He's like, he is so drunk that he is walking up to people, our male friends, engaging them in conversation, and then randomly punching them in the balls and running away. And I said, what? Not Shannon. That doesn't sound like the Shannon McClung I know, the nice guy, all this kind of shit. I said to Josh, he better not try it with me. As apparently he had tried it with Josh, and Josh was like mad at you, but didn't do anything. And I said, he better not try it with me. So a little while later, Jamie Jean and I are out on the floor cutting a jig and what have you. Shannon McClung walks up to me and he's like, yo, so he gave me a conversation, and then bang in the balls. He hit me. And by reflex, I was so pissed because I'm not one of those guys like, oh, why'd you do that? I actually fight back. I hauled off and kicked the fuck out of his shin with the tip of my dress shoe. Just kicked the fuck out of his shin. I probably took skin off. And I said to him, you can't do this anymore. Stop it. What is wrong with you? You were obsessed with punching people in the balls. It was an insane night for sure. Can you explain to the people listening and watching why you felt the need to go after all the males' balls in the reception area?
No. But
okay.
what I can do is provide an accounting of how I remember it. I had several. I had several cocktails at the time, and I was actually talking to our friend Josh Moon, who is one of the nicest guys.
He is
really, really sweet, earnest guy, and I remember. Josh and I were talking, and I remember in the middle of Josh's speak, like the drunk voice inside me was just like, Josh's voice just went away, and the drunk voice inside me is like, it'd be really funny to hit him in the balls right now.
Yeah.
And as he's talking, I just went, bang.
Yeah. That's what he did.
I ended up doing it to Josh another 2 times, I think. And I don't remember who else I did it to, because I just remember at one point, I do remember doing it to you, and I remember getting the kick in the shins.
Oh yeah, man.
And then we sat down, because I think Josh said to me, if you do that again, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yeah, Josh went to the next level.
And so Josh and I sat down, I remember, with Steve Morris. And because I remember kind of becoming conscious again and hearing Josh say, if you do that again, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
And I had sort of blacked out, everything that I'd done. I'm like, and I got offended. I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about? We're friends. We've been friends for 15 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Josh laid out his case to Steve, who was functioning as the magistrate.
He was the magistrate,
in this situation.
He was the judge.
And Steve was just like, Shannon, you can't do that. And I was like, no. Steve, I don't remember any of this.
Yep. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Bangkok dangerous.
So there was one other evening where I did that, and then I stopped. And then, to my knowledge, I haven't done it since.
What were you working out, do you think, while you were doing that? Was this a need to be like, the alpha male in the room?
No, I think I just thought it was funny.
Okay. All right. Level 2 says Shannon has to have Irish blood. He was looking for the pot of gold even back then, bashing people in the balls trying to get the information. I respect that. I respect that. Chris says Shannon is a habitual ball tapper. Oh, hello. Ball puncher.
I wouldn't say habitual, but I had there was a little window in my life where, for some reason, I thought that was just hilarious. Yes. But only when I was inebriated. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that sober. Yeah.
Right. Shannon Cocknocker McClung. I like it. It's certainly doing the business there. Let me see what else we've got here. All right. Let me see. All right. Drunken Prayer says, only question I can think of that involves Green. Who is the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Also, Shannon, Wolfman has nards.
Hey, it's a great classic moment. When you watch the movie around again, I still have a lot of nostalgic affection for that movie, but it's not a great movie.
No one would argue it's a great movie. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure.
So who's the best Ninja Turtle?
Yeah, this was who's the best Ninja Turtle?
I always liked Raphael because in the big stand-up arcade game, he was the only one that if you pressed punch and kick at the same time, Michelangelo and Donatello and Leonardo, they all did this sort of jump swipe. He was the only one that had a different move. He would do a back roll and a kick. So I always liked Raphael purely because of that reason.
Okay, fair enough. Who's the one that has the nunchucks?
That's Michelangelo.
Yeah, Michelangelo, I guess. Is that the one you said, or you said Leonardo?
No, I said Raphael.
All right, I'll take Michelangelo. I like nunchucks. Ever since Bruce Lee, I'm a big fan of nunchucks. I'm doing them right now. I'm doing them right now behind my back. And I'm still got it. I still got it. Would you have hit people in the balls with the nunchucks if you could do nunchucks? If you had brought them to the reception of that wedding?
Like real nunchucks or like a child's toy nunchucks?
No, like real nunchucks. Like you were so good at it.
I would hope not.
I mean, you're so good that you would flick it just the tip to hit the tip of the penis. Would you have done that?
Sometimes a tip hit is even worse.
Yes,
than a full-on than just a fist blast.
Just a brush sometimes can knock you down to a sack of potatoes on the ground. People don't understand. That shit is no go good. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Rondo Calrissian. Oh, I love that. Rondo Calrissian. I love it. He says,
that's a funny name.
What about Boondock Saints? Always enjoyed them. Is McAvoy and Fassbender Irish? They are two of my favorites. I don't know if Fassbender I know is not Irish, right? Because I think he's Dutch or something.
No, I think Fassbender, I do think he's part Irish.
You do, really?
I think.
All right.
Well, he's part German, isn't he?
Oh, no, you're right. He's Irish-German. Yeah, he's an Irish-German actor and apparently a racing driver. I didn't know that he was a racing driver.
I mean, he looks like he would race Formula One.
Oh, yeah, totally.
He's got that look.
Yeah, he does have that look. Yeah, so he's German-Irish. Woof, my lord. That's a fucking combo and a half. There's
and
not
McAvoy's Scottish.
Yeah, McAvoy is Scottish.
Yeah.
Scottish. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. Yeah, he is absolutely Scottish. So there you go. That was my Jamaican accent I just did. Did you like it?
When we were
kissed girl. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
When we were at the Days of Future Past panel many summers ago, many summers ago at Comic-Con, I can't remember which actor preceded him, but they were asking if there were any English fans. I mean, maybe it was Ian McKellen, but it's any English fans out there, and everyone went crazy. And not everyone, but the handful of English folks that were there went crazy. Yeah. And then McAvoy was like, "Are there any Scottish fans out there?" And it was just silence. And no one from Scotland got into Hall H that year, apparently.
Fuck you. Fuck you, McAvoy. All right, let's see here. All right, we got more. Aaron Clister says, "Happy St. Patty's Day. Now go get your fucking shine box." Oh, I like that. That's good. I like that. I'm going to use that with Dan Murrow. Go get your fucking shine box. All right, let's see. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate the donation. Canada rocks. What's up, Canada? Says, Irish movies, Michael Collins, In the Name of the Father, My Left Foot, Angela's Ashes, Hunger. Also, my friends and I spent a whole semester in high school playing testy tag. It's like the movie tag, but Shannon rules. Ooh. What the fuck you all doing up there in Canada? I never played testy tag in my life down in America. That's for sure. That's insane.
Look, nut taps are funny.
Yeah, true.
Nut taps are always funny. What was it in Far From Home when Flash is doing that selfie? And a guy runs in from the side of the screen and bang! It's funny. Be prepared for the response.
Yeah, right.
If you choose to do that.
If you choose to do the nut punch, be prepared for the response. I had a friend, we were wrestling one time back in the 90s, really good friend of mine, old friend. We're still friends. We were messing around and he cold cocked me in the middle of a playful wrestling thing. I punched him 6 times in the balls, like 6 times, because I wanted to make it sure that he never forgot that he can never punch me in the face. So I, boom, and he went down. And he goes, "Oh my God," and bam. And he was like, "What the bam, 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 bam." And it was just like that so that he never again messed with the money maker, pal. You don't do it. You don't do it. Scott Welsh says, "Rocha, we love fighting in hockey. Of course we do that. You've never lived until you play a game of testy tag." Oof, I don't understand testy. I've never even heard this term before. Wow.
I mean, and that's a fair point. Maybe my timing was not the best at a wedding.
Yeah, well, true. Maybe you were just in the wrong location to do the things you were doing. By the way, Canada rocks. Michael Collins, that's not a good film. I'll give you In the Name of the Father. That is good. My Left Foot's good. Angela Ashes is a tough watch, but good. Hunger is great as well. But yeah, Michael Collins that's kind of cheesy a little bit. I will take I will take The Wind Shakes the Barley. That's a great Irish film about kind of like the same thing. fighting for Irish independence. All right, Buckeye Jet says, speaking of Green, exactly 3 years ago, Gangrene moved up to get Sam Darnold. Oh my God, you're making a New York Jets reference here. Would you trade 3 first-round picks for Watson or just pick Wilson, who pundits say remind them of Rodgers and Mahomes? We have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. Yeah, good luck with that. You're not going to get either of those quarterbacks. That's for sure, Buckeye Jet. The rumor that I'm seeing today is that the New England Patriots are going to go get Deshaun Watson. That's the reason why they signed all those players, is to make it very attractive for Deshaun Watson to accept the trade and go to New England, and they'll trade the Texans, probably Cam Newton, in the process. So there you go. Woo! All right. We've got 3 more beers left. We've got an hour left. Shannon, we crossed we're almost at the $400 mark, which is insane.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm pretty surprised by that. Do we have another story we can tell them at the $400 mark, and then another story at the $500 mark, just in case? Do we have other stories in our wheelhouse here?
Yeah.
All right. What do you got? Tease it.
The last time I was on, we didn't get to whatever the amount was, but the story of mine and John's argument at Comic-Con.
Oh my God.
Which
this is a great story, ladies and gentlemen. You got to put in for this story. we're $72 away from 400. That would be the story at 400. If we get to 500, we'll tell you another story from Comic-Con that you guys will love for sure, or life. That's for sure.
What are you thinking for that amount? I
don't know. Let's get to 400 first. I don't like to count my chickens before they hatch. Those cute little chickens that I tickle their little necks. I gotta go piss. All right, you take over the show for right now.
Sure.
I'm gonna take a. Is this how it works? No, that's not how it works.
Oh,
is this how it works?
I'm smaller. I don't. Can you not make your guest screen bigger?
I think I can.
Hey, oh my gosh, it's just me.
Knock it out there, Pally.
Oh, the pressure. Okay, so I'll show you guys my shirt here. This is my St. Patty's shirt that says I'm an adult. This is the shirt that I have worn for St. Patrick's Day for the last 7 years. So one of the shows that I did at Universal was this special effects show, and it was a cast or three cast members, a lot more people backstage though. And at the end of the show, at the end of my shift, I would do this wire flying, and I was in an astronaut suit. So I would get off stage and I would just be drenched. I would absolutely sweating. So you have to take a shower at the end of the day. And you don't have to. I had to. Some people were okay throwing on their clothes and marinating in their own filth. But I had to take a shower, and my castmates got tickled at my persnicketiness at like having to take a shower. So one day I'd taken my shower. I noticed in the bathroom someone had reached in and grabbed my underwear, and so I come out in a towel, and I'm asking, "Hey guys, did someone take my underwear?" And people are laughing, ha 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 ha. And after about 5 minutes, I'm starting to get a little frustrated because I'm like, guys, seriously, I'm dripping wet. I have to go. Where is my underwear? And again, ha 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 ha. And finally, and I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'6", and I probably weighed 10 pounds less back then. But as everyone is kind of laughing and having a good time, I went, "You forgot to. I'm an adult. Where's my underwear?" And at that point, my underwear appeared. But a couple of weeks later, our friend, one of our dear friends, Eric Norris, had it was my birthday a couple of weeks later, and he gave me a gift that was this shirt, coincidentally in St. Patrick's green, nice, with my quote of "I'm an adult." So that is where that shirt comes from.
Nice. Mammoth Hat says, I sent in 20. He says, "Can't remember my PayPal password." Oh, sorry, Marmoth. I appreciate it, but it's very kind of you to send in there. Try password. Yeah, as Canada Rock said, try password. That might be your password there for sure. All right, what's the deal here, man? What are you drinking now? What are you into now?
Well, I'm out. I can go.
What?
Should I go pour another one?
Yes, go pour in a fucking another one. I apologize. That seemed more aggressive than I intended. I apologize. It's more of an excitement than aggression. Are you going to take a pee as well? All right. I'm going to have my Brock's jelly beans, and I'm going to bring Sean in, our producer. How do you think it's going, Sean?
It's going. I don't know where it's going. It's going somewhere.
How do you think it's going there, Sean?
No accents. No.
I got to kiss the girl.
That was worse. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. It's going well. Shannon is Shannon's always good. Rocha, you're 2 sheets to the wind already. You're done. I don't know how you're gonna watch Justice League in the morning.
Because I don't get hangovers.
Okay.
Did you just say you don't get hangovers?
Nope. I've never gotten a hangover.
Okay.
Oh, I think Shannon has a story that would beg to differ, I think. How much do we have to get to hear this story? That's what I want to know now.
You think I have a hangover? Do I have a hangover story? I've never gotten a hangover.
Well, no, you've had hangovers because I've seen you the next day.
But I'm not like, oh my God, everybody's so loud. I've never had those kind of hangovers. Do you remember that?
I guess I'm thinking more, and it's not a hangover. I'm thinking of your reaction to certain things.
Oh, well, that's a different situation.
All right, so this is pouring from the side here.
Oh, that's the Guinness Stout.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. Look, see, that's how you pour it, ladies and gentlemen. See, that's a professional pour. That's a professional pour. Where should I go to Murphy's next? Or I'm kind of done with Guinness, so I'm going to go out of the can now.
What have you? You have the Murphy's and the Harp left.
You got the Irish style cream ale left, and the Harp left.
Go to the cream ale.
All right, let's see if it's any good. Let's talk about it. The original Wexford Irish Stale Cream Ale. It's nitro drought, served chilled. This can contains a pressurized widget. Well, I got a pressurized widget for you, you sons of bitches. That ensures the ale is served just as we like it. This can contains a pressure. Okay, how many times can you tell me they've got a pressurized widget? For God's sakes. Let's see what else. It's based on a traditional Irish recipe from County Wexford that dates back to 1810. We use only the freshest, most natural ingredients to ensure that our Wexford ale has a smooth, mellow creaminess. We believe you will enjoy. Right, that's a good Irish accent. James Nesbitt is who I usually use as my. Oh shit! Oh shit!
It's okay. It's not gonna blow up.
Okay.
And I see some Drunken Prayer has said no. You pour Guinness straight, not a traditional pipe pour. That's fair, but when you're using a can, it takes forever for the head to go down.
Yeah.
So that's why I did the tilt.
I can't say that. All right, here I'm gonna have a little bit of this.
We can do a little cheers here.
Cheers, brother. Oh, goddamn, that's your standard like beer. Hold on, I'll be right back. I just poured all over my hands.
That's the point. The head should never go straight down. Again, if you're at a bar and you're watching them do it, I fully agree that the straight in is the way to go. But I think when you're dealing with a can, I'd rather just get to it than have it sit here and marinate for 5 minutes. But
right. I don't need the place smelling like beer. I don't want to get shit from the lady. Every time she walks by, it smells like a fucking bar in there. Yes. Sorry, dear. I love you, dear. Woo! Did I say? Who said? Nobody said. Did I say? I didn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I don't say that word. Don't say. Yeah, right. Oh my God. I'm just hitting everybody's comments now. Is this fucking everybody up? Is this fucking people up? All right, there we go. Oh, Maria. That's what he said. Yeah, very well said, Maria. Well, okay. Let's see if we got any more donations here. We're trying to get to that $400 mark, so we hear that Comic-Con story, ladies and germs. We're at 320. Chris Taylor says, this reminds me of a time where I hit my best friend right on the tip with my class ring from high school. Ooh, I swear I thought I broke his manhood. Yeah. Yeah. Yikes.
Have you ever been like flicked in one of your nuts, John?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, that to me is worse than a fist, because that's
what. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, no, that's like a sniper shot. Like with the fist, there's other stuff that can get in the way.
Yeah, right.
If you get hit right on the ball, whoa.
That's like I said. That's a. I'm going down like a sack of potatoes moment. Absolutely. I've had a football in the groin. I've had a basketball in the groin. When we used to play tackle football growing up, you get that head in the groin when the guy's like ducking down and he's getting tackled, and you just get that slam. You're just like, oh my God. It's the worst feeling in the world. The accidental ones are the worst, though, because you can kind of prep yourself a little bit if you're playing sports, like it's going to happen. But the random one where you don't see it coming and someone accidentally does it, it's the worst. You're not prepared for it. And it's the most embarrassing moment, you know?
Yeah. I find, like, I have 3 nephews, and they're much older now. But when they were younger, when they decided they thought it would be hilarious to punch Uncle Shannon in the crotch, a child's fist can do a lot more damage.
Oh yeah. A child doesn't know how strong it is.
Nope. It's like a baby rattlesnake. Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got 97 likes. We got almost 100 of y'all watching. We had over 100 for a little bit. Some of you have dropped out, but if you haven't hit that like button, would appreciate if you hit that like button. Give us some love here for St. Patrick's Day. What's your feeling now? Welcome to Ball Talk. Let's talk about the MCU. That's on the description of this video as well. We're about to turn the corner into Falcon and Winter Soldier, brother. Drops on Friday. We finished WandaVision. It feels so quickly we're back into the world of the MCU. What do you anticipate for Falcon and Winter Soldier? What do you see it come? What do you want to see from this series? And just an update for everybody. We are at 330, so 70 more bucks gets the Comic-Con story. It's a good one. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Shannon and I, the rare fight. We never fight. The rare fight. It's a great story. But anyway, what do you expect?
We still disagree to this day. Who was right?
Yeah. I was right. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, in terms of the MCU and Falcon Winter Soldier, like, I know I've said this before. Oh, cheers. I know I've said this before, but the Cap movies are my favorite MCU movies. Like Winter Soldier is so great. I mean, First Avenger, I love the pseudo Raiders vibe that they had, despite the second half of it. The montage of them taking out the Hydra factory is like, that wasn't the best. Bucky's demise certainly could have been handled better. And I love Civil War. I mean, I do think it kind of tops out at the airport at the superhero fight. That fight at the end with Bucky, Steve, and Tony, like that's a heartbreaking fight that it's like I don't want to see. Like I don't want to watch people I like fight. In terms of Falcon and Winter Soldier, that little bit of chemistry we glimpsed in Civil War between Sam and Bucky, that's what I want. I mean, and I don't feel like we necessarily saw that in the first couple of trailers. We definitely didn't see it in the first one because it was just action. And that's fine. That's what you do to get eyeballs on the trailer. That one, the end of the second one where they showed a little bit of it where Sam is asking Bucky what's going on in that cybernetic or cyborg brain of yours. That one felt felt forced. I'm like, this does not feel as organic and as real as the films. And then once you got to the third trailer and now at the fourth trailer, much more excited. The idea that Sam and Bucky are going to see a therapist. I was like, oh, this is buddy cop. This is 80s buddy cop material. This is Riggs and Murtaugh. This is what I hope that we get to see. And I find it interesting that we've gotten a peek at Zemo. We've gotten a peek at the Flag Smashers. We've not seen John Walker. Like, we've only seen him from behind. Running onto the stage. So I'm curious, thinking back to the marketing for WandaVision, how much they showed us from further episodes. Like, like they showed us a little bit from each era. But when you think about the stuff with Sword, and I'm so curious how much in the marketing we've seen of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm hoping it's like the first episode or 2.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Well, look, Marma Thoughts says, my current theory is Red Wing is Mephisto. Well done. Well done. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. Like I said, I've seen the first episode, and I'm just like, I felt so happy after I watched the first episode, because there's a lot of military stuff attached to what I sense will be the storylines going through the series for these 6 episodes. And after having been out there into the magic verse of WandaVision, it was nice to kind of come back and kind of be a little more settled into the grounded nature of what makes me love the MCU, which is the real human stories that these characters go through and experience, along with the fact that they have powers. Remember, Iron Man was born of a situation where he was kidnapped and kept in a cave to essentially be turned into a slave for these people to make a weapon to destroy other people, which is what he had done for years and made millions off of without thinking of the ramifications. Right. It wasn't it wasn't until the cause or the necessity arose for him to create this contraption so he could get out of this situation. That's what woke him up to what he was doing with his company and what changed him as a person. Same thing with Cap. Cap was a kid with a heart of a lion who didn't have the body to match, but he had the will. And it wasn't until the super soldier serum came into his body that his body finally matched his will. But at the end of the day, he's still that scrawny little kid inside. And you see the way he reacts to stuff, that's still him. And so all of that, the realism of all of that, even Thor, right? It's the dad issues with Thor. What do you got? Well, with Black Widow, it's the guilt. Hawkeye, it's the guilt of the stuff they've done in the past. With the Hulk, it's about, like, that's the thing. I'm always angry. So he has to kind of hold on tight. All those are real emotions that they're experiencing. So now you add Falcon and Winter Soldier. What is Falcon's thing? He's a guy who counsels veterans. He's a former Air Force guy. And then Bucky, of course, was used for decades by Hydra to kill other people. So what are the emotional ramifications of all of that? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing get explored in the series. And I can't wait till everyone else watches the first episode. I can't wait till I get the second episode. I wish I could have had all 6. After I watched the first, I honestly would have finished the series in a day. It's such a great first episode.
Well, and as frustrating as it can be for us as an audience, I do think that's where Disney Plus is being smart, is stringing this out. I mean, I think that's the right business model, because people want to find out what happened so badly.
Yeah.
Like if they had released all of WandaVision at the same time, people would have signed up for a free trial and blazed through.
Oh, true. Good point.
I mean, same thing would have happened with The Mandalorian. And so I think it not only helps your subscriber base or keeping your subscriber base, but it also keeps your projects sort of in the mouths of pop culture right now. Like people are so curious. Are we going to get a WandaVision season 2? Like, I think we'd all sort of presumed that we wouldn't.
Yeah.
That it's just going to lead into movies, and that these series more than likely are just going to be, it's one big story we're telling. So if there's another story to tell with Sam and Bucky, maybe we would get a season 2. Otherwise, they're just going to go on to the next Marvel project that they would organically be in.
Exactly. Well, Askewed one, before you leave, don't leave. He said, LOL, I gave that last $70 the next time they check Streamlabs. All right, don't leave, Askewed, because he said, okay, I've done all I can to hear this story. I need to hit the road soon. I'll have to watch this. Don't leave just yet. Let's do it. He got us over the 400. Oh. So, Shannon, let's tell the story, my friend.
Okay, so this was at Comic-Con a few years ago. Typically what happens is John and Vogel and Kalinowski and I, we get there on Wednesday. So Comic-Con is technically Thursday to Sunday. Wednesday, they have the, what is it, the professional preview or something. So we've always had professional badges. So we always get there on Wednesday. We go to preview night, and then we end up at a bar someplace drinking and checking in with people that we maybe haven't seen since last year. It's a fantastic time.
Yes.
What has happened, and this year was no exception, we tend to go a little too hard on the first night because we're having a good time. So we end up further away. Like, our hotel's typically right by the convention center. The further you go away, the deeper you're getting into San Diego. So we end up at another bar very, very late. We stopped to get, there was a late night pizza place that was open. Now, we were all very, very inebriated. John and I definitely, me probably more so than John.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Oh, here we go.
John said, hold up.
From what he remembers.
I have to go to the ATM.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there with Mike Kalinowski and another friend of ours, Jonathan Blue.
Yep.
And so we're sitting there, we're standing there, and I had a little blackout moment, and suddenly we're walking. And I'm kind of like, oh, I guess we left.
Keep telling the story, right back.
So we are walking towards our hotel. Blue peels off at one point. We end up in the lobby bar of our hotel. Kalinowski peels off. I'm still down there. I think I get one more drink. As I'm coming, I take the elevator up. I'm coming down the hall. Kalinowski exits our room, and he's a bit frazzled, which if you all are fans of Mike Kalinowski, that's not something that happens easily. He's a very, very confident guy. And he's just like, champ, don't go in. John's really mad. And I'm like, about what? He's like, he thinks we left him. He's like, he's really mad. Don't talk to him. And in my drunken state, I can be a little overly confident and I'd be like, you know what? It's fine. I'm going to go in and talk to him. And so I go into the hotel room. Yeah. All the lights are on. John is in bed. He's got the covers pulled over. And I'm kind of like, hey, what's going on? Why are you so mad? And John is just like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to. We'll talk about it in the morning.
So they want to talk about
it. And so at that point, telling me no is not the way to get me to quit. True. So I keep poking at him, like, what's the matter? And John blows up.
Well,
from what I remember, and again, I had the inebriation.
I expressed my feelings. That's what I would say.
And I'll have you take over. What did you say, John?
I don't remember. Keep going with the story. I spilled my beer here, so I'm cleaning up. Go ahead.
There was a lot of the Rocha point, which he doesn't point like this. He points like this.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, you guys left me. Left me behind. So, you left me behind.
Now I'll pick it up where we left off. Yeah. So basically, I went over there with these guys I had to wait to get my pizza. And when I came back out, these motherfuckers had left. And I'm telling you this, I'm a military man. You never leave a man behind. Those of you who are watching us now, if you've been in the military, you know you never leave a man behind. That's not how things work. Always make sure he's safe and sound. You never know, late at night in San Diego, it can be a hairy place, especially during Comic-Con. We've seen attacks. We've heard about people getting into situations. So I looked around and I was like, they're gone. They absolutely left me here. And so I was like, what the fuck? So I walked all the way back to the hotel by myself. This was at a time in my life where I didn't know too much about Comic-Con, didn't understand that much about Comic-Con. So I was kind of pissed off that these guys just took off and left me. Jonathan Blue, I'm a naming names. And was it Kalinowski as well?
Yeah. But I was the only one you were really digging into me. Like that was your big thing. And my response was, it was all of us like, sorry. And then I tried to say like, John, I'm drunk. Like I didn't realize, and John didn't believe me. And he's like, oh yeah, you got drunk and suddenly you're conscious again.
Yeah. Well, he's Scottish, I don't buy it when I say they're drunk. They remember.
So, and this part you don't know, John. I've never told you this part.
Oh, here we go.
So I lay down in bed and I'm feeling guilty. I also feel like I've been unfairly maligned because I was the only one that John was giving it to.
Right.
Like he didn't really give it to Kalinowski.
Yeah.
So I lay down and like my heart's racing and I'm like, I'm mad, but I'm hurt at the same time. And I kind of feel guilty. So John and Vogel can be snorers. So it's many a night I will go and sleep in the bathroom because I'm like, I have to try to fall asleep. Yeah. So I went into the bathroom because John was snoring and like I didn't sleep at all. I actually got on my phone and I'm like, maybe I should go home. Maybe I feel like I've ruined Comic-Con. I actually pulled up the Amtrak app.
Oh,
and I'm like,
you were gonna go home?
There's a train at 6:30.
Shut the fuck up. I didn't know
Maybe I should just go.
What?
But I was drunk. Like that's where my drunk head was.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You felt so bad that you were like, I'm just going to go because I've clearly ruined Comic-Con for John.
Well, it wasn't entirely felt bad. I was also annoyed.
So you weren't leaving because you felt bad. You were leaving because you were a little annoyed.
It was both hands. It was both hands. It was like part of me feels like I've ruined this, and the other part is me like, fuck this. I should leave. And so I didn't. Like I did doze off in the bathtub. Then around like 5 a.m, I jumped into the bed and I slept for about an hour. And then John woke up. Also, I don't know if your audience knows this. John and I, we share a bed at Comic-Con.
We sleep together at Comic-Con. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yep. Vogel and Kalinowski share a bed.
It's 2021. Don't judge us. Go ahead. Yeah.
So around 6 a.m, John looks over and I'm kind of still on guard a little bit like, are we doing this? And John kind of looks at me, then he yanks the covers and I'm like, okay, we're fine. And then you're like, you left me. Don't leave me behind. Don't leave me behind.
I have a thing about that. My dad left me behind a couple of times and I got lost in malls when I was a kid. So it triggered that for me because at the time, like I said, I wasn't as ingratiated in the Comic-Con culture. Now, I mean, the last couple of years, I think we've gone together. I'm like, I'll wander off by myself at night to go and have like a cigar at one of those bars or sit there with my drink and just hang out and savor the evening. But at the time, I wasn't as confident being out there by myself because I didn't know what the fuck this city was all about that much, And look, I know you guys think it's all cosplaying motherfuckers. There are also some seedy bitches that hang out late at night at Comic-Con. I don't mean that female-wise. I mean male or female-wise. There's some seedy bitches that hang out late at night at Comic-Con where you could get into some danger. You get in some issues. People get upset that, people have showed up in their town. And so they pick fights. They set up situations. I've seen it happen. And especially the farther you get out from the convention center, the more you get into areas where it can get really hairy for you. So it's not just people sitting around in like Captain America costumes that are one size too small. It's actually people who are like waiting to find you kind of off on your own so they can fuck with you. It's dangerous. It can be dangerous.
And I will say the later into the evening it goes and the further away you are from like the convention center. Some of the locals come out that as you said, some of the seedier elements. So we did leave John in one of those areas. However,
I almost died.
Oh my God. However, it wasn't just me.
Right.
But I think also had Kalinowski and Blue as the two sober companions. If they thought you were legitimately in danger, I don't think they would have left.
Maybe. Who can say what lurks in the hearts of men? Only the shadow knows. That's the true thing. Well, the thing is, the reason I gave you shit is because you're my friend. And you're the one that I rely on this more than Kalinowski or Blue. Even though they're my friends, it's you and I have been through the wars and the beers and the tears. And so when you left, I was like, what the fuck, man? So it was kind of hairy. Now, of course, I wouldn't give a shit. Now I'd be like, all right, I'll get another slice of pizza and hang out here. Go hit the bar and you end up back at the hotel. But at the time, I was like freaking out, and that's why I got mad. So,
yeah. Well, and then after you and I had sort of kissed and made up, then Kalinowski threw in a joke, and you went in on him. Then
I probably did. I don't remember, but I probably did. Yeah.
Yeah, that made me laugh. I was just kind of like, all right, we're good.
Yeah,
exactly. And then Kalinowski's like, all right, back to normal. Rocha, you suck. I'm gonna get to you in a second.
That's for sure. Let's see. We got some more Streamlabs that came through. So there's your story. We're $80 away from 500. Maybe we come up with another story in the next half an hour. And to tell you guys, because certainly we've got a lot of stories. Do we have a Vogel story we can tell at the $500 mark that would be funny for people who are fans of the Geek Buddies to hear?
I would say we need to be cautious about stories.
That's fair.
That directly involve him if he's not here.
That's fair. I appreciate that. Carol donated and said, "Let's talk Irish music. Not lose my hard rock card. No, I don't want to lose my hard rock card, but I love 90s, 2000s Irish British pop music. Since you were in London in 1998, do you remember boy bands called Boyzone or Westlife? Yes, not necessarily the same type of music, but love the chorus as well. Yeah, Carol, I love the chorus. Was it go on, leave me breathless? That's the chorus. And do you know that some of the chorus were in the Commitments as extras? They are the people, when you have that montage of people auditioning to be part of the band in the Commitments, a few of the cores are part of those bands as they're auditioning. So go and look that up. They are there in the Commitments. So absolutely. I wasn't a Boyzone or Westlife fan. I was a Robbie Williams fan in 98 because remember he dropped Millennium that year and Angel that year. And I remember that being when we were in London, the big songs were Millennium from Rob Williams and Cher's song, Believe. Those were the big songs in 98 when I was there in London. I remember that distinctly. Have you been no, you went for business, but did you ever go to spend time in the UK at all?
I mean, we got like 1 or 2 nights to go out. And for the most part, it was, I mean, there just wasn't time because we had early call times the next day. Right. There was an evening. So it was for Universal.
Oh, okay.
It was the summer before Islands of Adventure opened up. So this would have been summer 98 as well. Oh my God. Were you in Vogel in London in summer 98?
Or were we in London? No, we were in fall 98.
Okay.
So we got there like in August of 98.
Okay. Oh, I was going to say that's so crazy. Like I had no idea that we were there at the same time. Yeah. So the summer before Islands of Adventure, the second Universal Park in Orlando opened, they sent myself and like 4 or 5 other performers on a little international tour, like a little promotional trip.
Yeah.
So we got to perform at the American Embassy in London. We got to perform at the very first Hard Rock. So, and awesome. And in 98, I would have been 20. Okay. So I couldn't drink in the States, but I could drink in London. So as part of our per diem that you get when you go on a trip, you were allowed 1 alcoholic beverage with dinner. Mm-hmm. So myself and 3 other performers, we went to this restaurant, and the other guy, it was the costumer who was a very lovely young woman and 2 burly stunt guys.
Okay.
And they were like, hey, for the one alcoholic beverage, they have what are they called? The bowls, the rum bowls,
Oh yeah, rumbles.
So yeah, it's a drink for 4 people. Mm-hmm. And he's like, we can all order one of these and it'll still count under our per diem. So we did basically for 16 people, we drank. Wow. And by the end, I mean, we are all, and like, I was not a skilled drinker back then.
Yeah.
We are smashed. And in the middle of the week, if you don't know where to go as a tourist, London shuts down pretty early.
Yes, yes it does.
Like it was around 9 or 10. Mm-hmm. And the 2 stunt guys are yelling at the English cabbie who was perfect. Like he had the newsboy cap on. He just had this great kind of just burly voice. Just he's cracking up at the drunk Americans.
Right. He
drops us off at our hotel, and that was the first time I fell because I'd had too much to drink. So it's like a fairly nice hotel, and I tripped as they're laughing, and I'm on the ground, and I'm kind of I'm not hurt, but I'm laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just tripped and fell in front of these people. I hear this Shannon, and I look up, and it was just like out of an 80s movie. The head of my director peers in over top of me. He's like, what are you doing? And at that point, I mean, my butthole just went and sobered up right away. The director, who brought his wife over on the trip, he kind of helped me up, and he's just like, guys, we got to be up really early tomorrow. So, we all get to our respective hotel rooms. And the next day I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to make it. Hopefully I don't have to run and get sick. But then seeing the big burly stunt guys in just as worse shape, I was like, oh, well, now I feel better.
Yeah, well, there you go. Oh man, those are situations you get into when you're over there for sure. Let's see who else we got. Another people talking about bands, Irish bands. I don't think the Pogues count because the Pogues are not a pop band. The Pogues are a pretty hardcore band, so I'm not going to give you the Pogues for sure. Let's see here. What else we got? Phil P says, massive love from London boys. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all the crew. I was at the Top 10 London show. Yeah. And had tickets for the postponed 2021 too. When you come back, any chance of a Geek Buddies Top 10 double bill? Come on, you Spurs. Shit. I would love that idea. I think that would be a fantastic thing. Me doing 2 shows that night, Geek Buddies, and then into Top 10. That would be awesome. I think I would love to do it. If we get enough people who would be willing to buy a ticket to Shannon and Mike and I doing the Geek Buddies as the opener, and then Top 10 after that would be fun. Or Geek Buddies one night, Top 10 the next night. That would be a blast as well. Shannon, would you for a live episode of the Geek Buddies in London?
Oh my God, yeah. So when you and Matt did it, so when did you arrive and when did you perform? Because I'm thinking of the jet lag.
Yeah, I arrived Wednesday of the week we were going to perform on Saturday. So it was a 10-day trip. Mm-hmm. So we got there and we said, okay, we're going to spend 4 days in London. We're going to fly in on Wednesday, then it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we'll head on off to Wales, then to Liverpool, then back to London, and then home. So that's what we did over those 10 days. So we arrived on Wednesday. Then, we got there early in the morning. So we were able to get to our hotel, check in, sleep a little bit, nap, go get some food, come back, relax. And then Thursday and Friday, I just was so hyped for the show, man. I never had the jet lag. I was so hyped for the show. But Lindley had massive jet lag because on Thursday or Friday, she slept 14 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like 14 hours and it was incredible. I sat in the bed, like on my computer, messing around with stuff, watching TV. She was out. And it was great because I didn't feel the pressure of having to go see all the sights. Do you know what I'm saying? I was able to like sit in the bed and relax while she slept and everything like that. So it was great for that. And then the show happened on Saturday night. And then the next morning we were off to Wales and then Liverpool. Yeah, it was great.
Wow. So you had 3 days to kind of adjust.
Yes, absolutely. And that was planned.
That's smart.
That was planned. Yeah. Because you never know how it's going to be. But I really had no jet lag. Coming back is where I had the jet lag. Coming back was rough, dude. Woo, rough.
I'm sure that if that was possible, that Vogel would 100% be in.
Yeah. So let's make it happen because, man, it's one of the greatest nights in my life. Like honestly, like that's in the top 10 of greatest nights in my life. I've had some great nights, but the fact that we were able to take this little show that we were put together by Christian and Mark Ellis, Matt and I never knew each other before we started doing top 10. The fact that we built it to its apex, which was when we had so many people who were on board the Patreon, so many people who were loving our shows every week. We were having like 20,000, 30,000 downloads a week, and people wanted to see us live. And it was something that we just kind of were like, well, let's see if it works. And then we found a place in London. It was a beautiful orchestra place. 250 people came out and saw us, or 200 people came out and saw us. and paid tickets and bought. It was great. We had a Q&A afterwards. We ended up at a bar and drank until 2 a.m. It was fucking stellar, man. And it was so humbling that our little show had such an international following that people from 13 different countries flew in or traveled in or took the train in to watch us do the top 10 show. And it was a blast. I'm just an absolute blast, man. So I'm so sad that we didn't get a chance to do it afterward, or didn't get a chance to do a second show in 2020 before the COVID situation happened. It was a fucking shame because we were so excited about the second show. We had plans for London. We had plans for Houston. And we were possibly looking at Boston and New York or DC as well. So we were going to go on a whole tour.
Wow.
And I don't know if we'll do that in the end. We'll see once things start to open up again, if we're going to do a little tour in 2022 of places. Because, I mean, it worked out really well for us financially as well. So it's something we're really considering at point. But I think the Geek Buddies can travel, man. I think the three of us would be a fucking great experience. So I'm down with it.
Well, here's hoping. 2022, right?
I can't drink anymore. I think I'm too drunk, man. I want to be able to finish the show correctly without doing any act. Oh yeah, Boston. I would love to come to Boston. Hell yeah, I love Boston. That's a great fucking town. I was there for 3 days in 1995. Fucking blast to be in Boston. I love that town. I don't cheer for any of your teams, but I love your town. That's for damn sure.
And we went to a very lovely wedding there in Cape Cod.
Yes, we did.
Where there was no ball punching.
There was no ball punch. It was respect delivered all around. Christine sent in. She said, sorry, this message is just to say North London is red. Is she saying Manchester United red? I don't know. Maybe they won. Is that what she's saying? Come to Miami. Woo! That's hot down in Miami, man. There's a lot of perspiration. I don't know if I come to Miami, but it would be kind of fun. That's for sure. All right. Do you have to pee or anything? Or are you good?
I'm good right now. Okay. I'm shocked that I haven't had to pee.
I know, because I got to go again. You take it over again. Sean, put him up again.
Oh gosh, you got to tell me. You got to give me something to talk about, John. So John and I used to take the train down to San Diego before we did the days of Vogel driving John, myself, and Kalinowski down. John and I would take the train down, and those times we did it 2 years. The first year, I want to say it was in like 2013, and we had one of the best times because on the Amtrak going from Los Angeles down to San Diego, there's a snack car, there's a dining car, and they also sell beer. So John and I got not embarrassingly lit, but we got super fun lit. And I mean, we're taking photos. We ended up at our hotel, and there was an actor who I knew from Orlando who had found a great deal of success on television. And as we're checking in, like I hadn't seen him in 10 years. And he walked past and kind of peered around the corner and was like, Shannon, I'm like, oh, hey, Scott. And he was like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, oh, this is our hotel. He's like, hey, well, we've got a party up on the, whatever the floor the pool was. He's like, come on up. And so I know now Rocha, yeah, he does this all the time. I know the irony, right? So John and I, Vogel was already there. His guys come meet us out here. Like, oh, sorry, we got to go to this big Hollywood party that we got an invite for. So we went around to the corner, and there is this gigantic line to get in. And somehow we worked our way to the front, and they're like, are you on the list? I was like, no, but Scott invited us. And she kind of rolled her eyes and went, Scott is inviting a lot of people tonight. So she kind of looked in, she went, just go ahead and go in. And John and I ended up having a fantastic night. And the next year, I made a huge error. The night before we were leaving, I was supposed to do a self-tape for the show Sleepy Hollow. And an old director of mine from Orlando was in town, and we ended up having a big epic drunk night, but not a good drunk, like, you know, those nights where you have too much to drink and then you feel really bad the next day. It was at a bar that I could walk to. Kalinowski was supposed to help me with this self-tape. I'm stumbling home. He's texting me like, champ, are we doing this? Are we doing this? And I ended up yelling at myself in the mirror about, this was my fault. This is on you. You did this. And my ex-wife came in, really freaked her out. And it's just kind of like, you know, we need to have a talk because that behavior last night, I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. That was 100% on me. And so the next day when John and I are taking the Amtrak down to San Diego, I know John kind of was assuming we were going to have a repeat of the night before. And I got a beer just because it was, you know, I felt bad, but I'm just sipping on it going like, God, this is a terrible way to start Comic-Con. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I was licking my wounds going down.
That's for sure. Now Rocha left Shannon. What the fuck? No, I didn't leave him. I just went to spray. I had to spray my desk with a little oxygen orange so I could clean this shit up. So it doesn't smell like a stout situation. Oh, man. Let's see if we got any more Streamlabs or Super Chats. Nope. No more Streamlabs Super Chats. Well, you know, we got 15 minutes left. If you want to get us to $500, we're $80 away. Maybe we'll give you one last story if we get to $80. But I think we've done a great job of drinking and having a fun conversation. Did we talk Star Wars yet? We put that in the description. Did we talk Star Wars? I don't remember.
I don't think we've talked Star Wars.
Let's wrap up by talking Star Wars.
Let's talk some Star Wars.
Are we excited? Kathleen Kennedy looks like she's coming back, man. What do you think? I mean, Bob Chapek made it very clear that he wants to extend her contract and keep her in the Disney family.
You know, I mean, and I know we've talked about this before, but the sequel trilogy for, you know, I know some people really enjoyed it. I was not one of them.
Yep.
I do think Rogue One is an amazing film, and I think Solo is fun and had the potential to be great without the meddling that occurred.
Right.
It's very easy to villainize Kathleen Kennedy based off of how you feel about the sequel trilogy.
Right.
But when you look at The Mandalorian, that also happened under her stewardship.
Yeah.
So if you like The Mandalorian, if you like all the possibilities that Star Wars has on Disney Plus, that's also because of her. So yep. I'm conflicted because I look at the sequel trilogy, and when Rian Johnson gave one of those earlier interviews where he said, they're letting us do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that is a terrible decision. Mm-hmm. Because that's not how these, like, you know, however you may feel about the prequels, those were Lucas's movies. Like he knew what was going to happen, and going in sort of scattershot, be like, well, we'll find our way. When you're dealing with a franchise that is so beloved and so expensive. I mean, Disney paid billions of dollars for it. Yep. It seems like you're handling it kind of carelessly. But then The Mandalorian came out, and then it looks like she's maybe trusting the people that she hired a little bit more than she had with the films.
Yeah. It seems like that's where they're going overall with this situation, is that I think the films, they had to get done so they could move the old people out of the way. Hamill, Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford. They paid service. They played fan service. They paid lip service. And now they can move on. Sadly, they fumbled the ball so much on that sequel trilogy that none of the sequel trilogy people want to come back. Not Daisy Ridley, not John Boyega, not Oscar Isaac. So you got rid of the old people, but you forgot to really focus and highlight and write correctly and respect the young people you were going to hand over the film universe to. And in the end, you know, they got their money, so they don't have to come back. Mm-hmm. And they rolled on, and they're going to do other projects, and maybe down the road they'll come back. But for right now, you kind of have to take a loss on that one. But if you look at all the shows, Mandalorian, as you stated, Certainly Rogue One is another film that's fantastically beloved by a lot of people. If you want to look at, there's people starting to defend Solo now who want a Solo 2. Whatever your feelings are about that, they want a Solo 2. There's a big campaign for us. So make Solo 2 happen. That hashtag Resistance Broadcast people, they support it. Or they initiated it as well. And then you've got, Cash and Andor coming. You've got the Ahsoka Tano series. You've got all these things that are the Bridge of the New Republic. This is all coming forward, all under Kathleen's watch. So if you're going to ding her for the mistakes, you also got to give her credit for the successes. That's how a balanced analysis works.
Yeah.
So in the end, we may not be 100% happy with that sequel trilogy, but there's been so much that has happened around and since that sequel trilogy that we are happy with as Star Wars fans, and that's a positive.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if you're gonna ding her, you got to give her the credit as well. It's she's not Feige. Feige is a creative producer. He's a creative executive. I mean, if the stories are true, which I have to think that they are, that a lot of this stuff comes from his like he gets an idea, not fully formed, but he gets an idea of like WandaVision. Like I'd love to see Wanda and Vision do sort of a version of House of M where they go through sitcoms.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like he gave that to Jack Schaefer and they took the ball and ran.
Right.
That doesn't seem to be Kathleen Kennedy's forte, that she needs to get the right creative person and trust their judgment.
Yep, absolutely. And there was that I forget the person they moved into the creative position, whatever, I forget what her name was, but it looks like she's being moved in to really be a part of this team to help the creative side of things become more fully realized, have more time spent on delivering better product. And that's a positive overall for everybody involved if they can make that happen for sure. So we shall see.
What are your feelings? Because I don't think we've talked about this, and I think this franchise is more to me than it is to you. Indiana Jones 5, James Mangold. What do you think?
My initial reaction is, if anyone's going to deliver the right goodbye to the old man, to Indiana Jones, it is Mangold. That being said, though, I mean, do I really want an Indiana Jones 5? And my answer, to be honest with you, is no. I don't want an Indiana Jones 5. I had my time with Indiana Jones. It ended the way it ended, and I don't really want to have any more with Indiana Jones. And I'm happy. I'm happy with what we got, and we should move on. But having another one where because I mean, dude, he's almost 80 years old. Like at what point are we like, the same people who criticize Star Trek for bringing back Shatner and the crew for Star Trek 6 or even Star Trek Generations? Shatner is younger than Harrison Ford was or is going to be when he shoots this Indiana Jones 5 by a considerable amount of years. And yet you made fun of that situation. You're not going to make fun of Harrison Ford coming back to play Indiana Jones at almost 80 years old. Sean Connery was older when he did Last Crusade. Is younger rather when he did Last Crusade, and he could barely keep up. And Sean Connery's a man's man, ladies and gentlemen. So I just don't see the logic, to be honest. What story are you going to tell? Unless he's handing over the mantle, it doesn't make any sense to me at all at that age.
Well, and if Indiana Jones is roughly supposed to be Harrison Ford's age, which I think Harrison Ford can probably play a little younger.
Yeah,
you're probably getting him in the 70s.
Yeah,
70, maybe late 60s, depending on how you play it. And it's like that just doesn't feel right for Indiana Jones to me. I respect your opinion about James Mangold being the guy to give a proper farewell to a character based off of Logan. Yeah. But it's like, God, I love the character so much. I feel like they already messed it up with Crystal Skull. Like I kind of hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, I'll be there on day one.
Yeah, I know you will. I know but that's the thing. We're slaves to the things we love. We are beholden, rather, to the things we love, and we'll give it another chance. I mean, if they had another Rocky movie, I'd fucking go. Even though it's not within the realm of possibility that would be true, but you want to see what they can do. And Rocky Balboa doesn't hold up for me. That's not a film that I enjoy seeing. But Creed 1 and Creed 2, they really do. So if Rocky Balboa had to exist as a bridge to get us from Rocky 5 to Creed, I'm okay with Rocky Balboa existing.
And Michael B. Jordan's directing Creed 3.
Yes.
Do we think Stallone is coming back?
I don't know. If he is, I think it's going to be a small scene or a couple of scenes. But I mean, when he gave him the fist bump at the end of Creed 2, that was Stallone saying, this is your franchise now, man. I'm moving on. And that's okay. And if maybe there's a scene where he goes to see him and they have a really intense, heartfelt conversation because he's confronting something, that's totally fine. But I cannot see a future where it's Stallone as Creed being the Mickey to Michael B. Jordan's character in the future. I just don't see it. You know, you've got someone like Wood Harris, great actor, being the trainer. He is the son of Duke, what's I've been drinking. What's might be Jordan's Adrian, right? Or
his character's name?
Yeah, is it Adonis? Adonis he's Creed's son. So it makes more sense for Duke's son and Creed's son to move forward together, and Rocky to move on, because he has his son, but his son wants nothing to do with boxing. And that's where his focus is, to repair his relationship with his son. So to me, I think he probably moves closer to his son, leaves Philadelphia, or doesn't have anything to do with Philadelphia anymore, and he's in a whole nother world. That's what I think happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny looking at Michael B. Jordan in Creed 1, because the dude, obviously the dude is jacked. I mean, he got in incredible shape. Then you see him in Creed 2 next to, was it Florian? Is it Munto?
Yeah, Munto.
And he was like a legit boxer, right? Yeah. Like you see him just towering over towering over Michael B. Jordan. It's just like, oh, so that's what an actual boxer looks like, not a movie boxer.
Right. At that point, you're like, well, what are we doing here? That's for sure. Yeah. Someone said, oh boy, Adrian is Rocky's wife. Yeah, I know Adrian is Rocky's wife. I've been drinking a bit. I don't know if you know this. I've been drinking a bit.
And you're doing it responsibly from home.
From home. I'm not getting in a car. My girlfriend's not here. All right, let's wrap it up, Shan. We got 2 minutes left to 6. I'm gonna let you go. I gotta jump on and hang out with my patrons for an hour and a half.
All right.
Great, awesome Outlaw Nation page. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, brother man. Appreciated you powering through these 2 hours with me and having some drinks with me all across board. Couldn't finish all the drinks, couldn't get into the other ones to see what they taste like, but it's probably for the best. All right. Well, anyway, tell them what you got going on, man, where they can find you, what you doing, brother.
If you want to follow me on social media, on Twitter, it's at Shannon_McClung. I'm also on Clubhouse now, which I'm still a little fuzzy on what that is, but it's the same. It's at Shannon_McClung, and you can follow me on Instagram at Shannon the Geek Buddy. And then you can hear me every week on the Geek Buddies with Mr. Rocha and Mr. Michael Vogel.
That's right. We got a new episode dropping either later tonight or in the morning. We'll see. But
I'm going within the morning. That's just that's just my guess.
That feels like a challenge. I like it. I like Dan Harris says, I'm more impressed. Rocha is drinking, talking films, and cleaning all at the same time. Yeah, that's my life. I'm a multitasking son of a bitch. But thank you all so much. We had over 100 of you watching consistently most of the night, so I appreciate it madly. Please remember, hit like on this video. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, we got 134 likes. Would love to get 150 likes on this thing as we're wrapping up. Appreciate it madly. Please leave your comments down below if you're watching it later. Remember, hit a like on this one as well. I already said that. Anyway, leave a comment and share it. That's really a lot of fun too. Share this video on your social media. Let people know about the Outlaw Nation Show and the Outlaw Nation channel and get them to come aboard. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so down below. We're so close to 16,300. I think we're 4 or 5 subscribers away from crossing 16,300 and marching towards 17,000. So please come aboard. You got so much going on here. We've got the Jedi Way, the Star Wars show. We've got our politics show, Impolite Truths. It goes live tomorrow night. We've got our Falcon and Winter Soldier reviews coming up. If you're catching up on WandaVision, watch our WandaVision reviews on the Geek Buddies, which are on this channel. So much happening. Game time just happened yesterday. So go and watch that with me, Jay, Winston, and our new cast member, our new co-host, JT. So it's been a lot of fun to do all this stuff here. And there's more stuff coming, ladies and gentlemen. There's more stuff coming as we put it all together. So much love to all of you. Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Jesus Christ. Have a happy St. Patrick's Day celebration. Be well. Don't get in the car. Don't get in the car. Use Uber, use Lyft, use whatever you can to get out of the situation. Don't pull a Springsteen and get your ass pulled over for a DUI. For the love of God, please get yourself into. You can afford a. You can afford. You can afford an Uber or Lyft. All right, I'm out of here. I love you. Thank you, Shannon. Much love to you, brother man. And thank you to Sean Barrett, too, who helped produce tonight as well. Sorry we didn't bring any of you all in live, but we were just having so much fun. I totally forgot to do that. So blame the beer. Blame the Irish stout. But next week, definitely we'll bring you on live. Next week, Video Drew stops. No, is that right? No, not the Video Drew stops on the 30th. But we'll have a great guest next week. We'll hang out. We'll bring some of y'all in live to answer your questions as well. All right. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Absolutely drunk Uncle Rocha. Absolutely. And I will talk to you next time on another brand new episode of the Outlaw Nation. Please. Oh, and let me finish the show like I always finish the show. Please. Whatever you need to do, get through the next second, next minute, next hour, next day, next week, next month, next year. I'd like you to do that. You never know what's waiting for you on the other side, and it just might surprise you. You know, I had a pretty rough month. There were a couple of some tough days, really legitimately tough days, but I powered through it, came out the other side. It's not always easy. I know, trust me, it's not always easy, but we are all here for you in the nation, and so many people responded to my post yesterday, really humbled me and put me in such a beautiful place to know so many people are looking out. Even if they don't always say it, they're always spiritually looking out, the vibes of the universe, and that's important. You never know how many people are thinking about you in your life. So please, whatever you need to do to get through the tough moments, do them and come back and hang out with us because we love you. We need you here in the nation. All right? We'll see you. Wear your mask, practice social distancing, and come join us next week. Peace, peace, peace.